Have you ever wondered what wisdom you could have gained earlier in life? What if you could look back at your 60s and realize there were key lessons that could have completely transformed the way you live today? Imagine the decisions you could have made differently, the habits you could have started sooner, and how these lessons could have shaped your life in ways you never expected. As someone who's now 80 years old, I've had the chance to reflect on my journey, and I want to share with you the 5 key insights that I wish I had known in my 60s. These powerful lessons can change the course of your life, no matter what age you are. By watching this video, you'll discover the timeless advice I wish I had heard earlier, including how to prioritize your health, plan your finances, build stronger relationships, pursue passions, and embrace change. These aren't just theoretical ideas. They're lessons based on real experiences that can help you live a more intentional, fulfilling life. If you want to avoid the mistakes I made, and truly set yourself up for a healthier, happier, and more secure future, then keep watching. These insights aren't just for those in their later years. They're for anyone who wants to live a life filled with purpose and peace. Stick around to learn how to take control of your future, build stronger emotional connections, and unlock a life of growth, joy, and freedom, no matter where you are on your journey. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. The first lesson: health is wealth. When I reached my 60s, I was no different from so many others who think they have all the time in the world. I didn't think twice about my health, brushing off its importance as something I could worry about later. I believed I was invincible, too busy with work, life, and all the distractions that come with it to pay much attention to exercise or my eating habits. I remember those years, days spent at the office, so consumed by deadlines and meetings that I didn't even notice I was sitting for hours, neglecting my body's needs. At night, I'd grab quick, convenient meals that offered little to no nutrition, and weekends were nothing more than an opportunity to lounge around, recovering from a week that felt too demanding. I took every bit of my health for granted, assuming it would always be there for me. I didn't realize it then, but those seemingly harmless habits, those late nights, the lack of movement, the indulgent meals, were silently building a foundation that would one day betray me. As the years passed, I felt invincible, but by my mid-70s, the consequences of my negligence became undeniable. My once vibrant energy had dwindled, my joints began to ache in ways I couldn't ignore, and I found myself battling stress in ways that left me feeling drained, overwhelmed, and frustrated. It was as if my body and mind had reached their limit, and it broke my heart to face the truth. I had neglected myself, and now it was showing. Looking back, with all the wisdom I've gathered, I can't help but wish I had done things differently. I wish I had nurtured my body and mind with the same love and care I gave to my work and responsibilities. The lesson is painfully clear now. Health truly is wealth. As the years go on, it becomes even more apparent how crucial it is to take care of yourself. I often think about how different my life could have been if I had made better choices when I was younger. If I had prioritized my health in my 60s, I could have spared myself so much pain and frustration. But it's a harsh truth. You don't get to undo the past. However, here's the good news. It's never too late. It's never too late to start making the changes you need to live a better, healthier life. It's never too late to love yourself enough to make your well-being a priority. The foundation for a long, happy, and active life is built on taking care of your health, physically, emotionally, and mentally. If you start now, no matter how old you are, you can reap the benefits of these small, daily choices. The earlier you start, the easier it becomes to maintain that vibrant life as you grow older. But even if you're already well into your 70s or beyond, don't despair. Every single step you take toward better health will help, and it's never too late to start feeling better. So, what can you do in your 60s to make a lasting difference? First, start moving. You don't have to sign up for a marathon, but simple, daily exercise can make all the difference. Walking, swimming, stretching. These activities will keep your body flexible, strong, and resilient. They'll reduce the risk of injuries and keep you feeling lighter, more energized, and capable of doing all the things you love. And don't beat yourself up if you're not running marathons. Just stay consistent with some form of movement every day. It's the consistency that counts. Second, focus on what you're putting into your body. You don't have to completely overhaul your diet all at once, but think about how small changes, eating more whole foods, drinking more water, cutting back on processed junk, can bring about a noticeable improvement. Fruits and vegetables will provide you with that natural, sustained energy you didn't even realize you were missing. The effects of these simple changes will surprise you in the best way possible. Lastly, don't forget about stress. As we get older, stress has a way of showing up uninvited, weighing us down in ways that are harder to shake. But there are ways to manage it, and finding what works for you is essential. Whether it's meditation, journaling, taking time for yourself to enjoy quiet moments, or simply breathing deeply to center yourself, these tools are invaluable. Stress can be toxic, especially in our later years, but with the right strategies, we can take control and stop it from running our lives. So, I encourage you to take these small steps now, no matter where you are in life. Take care of yourself. Honor your body. Your future self will be so incredibly grateful for it, I promise. And most importantly, remember, health truly is wealth, and without it, nothing else can shine quite as brightly. You deserve that shining future, filled with energy, vitality, and joy. The second lesson, the importance of financial planning. Looking back on my life, one of the hardest truths I've had to confront is the fact that I didn't take financial planning seriously enough when I was in my 60s. At the time, retirement seemed like an abstract concept that was always just out of reach. I kept telling myself, I have plenty of time, and I naively believed I could handle the financial side of things later. But as the years passed, that false sense of security began to slip away, and it was only when I hit my 70s that the harsh reality hit me like a cold wave. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. I hadn't built the cushion I so desperately needed to feel safe and secure. Yes, I had some savings, but it was far from what I would have needed to comfortably glide into retirement. I never truly understood the overwhelming power of starting early, investing wisely, and planning for the future until it was too late. There were days I had to scale back, adjust my lifestyle, and sacrifice comforts, things I never thought I'd have to do, simply because I hadn't taken the time to set up the financial structure I should have when I had the chance. It was a bitter pill to swallow, and I often found myself frustrated and even angry with myself. How could I have been so blind to something so crucial? The lesson, one that I wish I could have learned sooner, is this. Financial planning isn't just a good idea. It is vital to living a peaceful, fulfilling life in your later years. The sooner you start, the more security you build for yourself, and the more peace of mind you gain in return. If I had paid attention to my savings and investments during my 60s, I could have enjoyed a sense of freedom in my retirement. Instead of lying awake at night worrying about finances, I could have spent those precious years focused on the things I love, pursuing my passions, exploring new opportunities, and embracing the beauty of life's later chapters. Financial planning is not just about having enough money to scrape by. It's about crafting a future where you feel empowered, where you're not burdened by the stress of what-ifs. It's about ensuring you can live comfortably, with joy, and without constant fear of what tomorrow may bring. It's about living out your days with a sense of freedom, not only in terms of time but also in terms of what you can do and how you can live. If I had approached this in my 60s with more dedication, I would have been able to embrace my later years with more flexibility, more joy, and more security. It's a mistake I regret deeply, but it's also a mistake I've learned from, and now I want to share this wisdom with others. So, what can you do now, no matter where you are on your journey? The best thing you can do is start saving as early as possible. Even if it's a small amount, even if you feel like it's insignificant, it will make a difference. Consistency is what matters most. Every little contribution adds up over time. Start small, but start. The second key step is diversification. Never put all your eggs in one basket, no matter how tempting or simple it seems to put your money into one area. Stocks, bonds, real estate, these can all be part of a well-rounded investment strategy. A balanced portfolio can protect you from risks, and more importantly, help your wealth grow steadily. If you're unsure where to start, there's no shame in seeking professional advice. A financial advisor can provide tailored guidance to help you navigate the sometimes overwhelming world of finances. Lastly, plan. I can't stress this enough. Retirement may feel distant, but time flies faster than we realize. Setting financial goals today, reviewing them regularly, and making sure you're on track are key to shaping the future you want. It's never too early to start, and trust me, the more you put in now, the more peace you'll feel as you get older. Your future self will thank you for the effort you make today. In the end, financial planning isn't just about numbers. It's about living with the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a solid foundation. It's about not living in fear of running out of money, but instead living fully, freely, and without regrets. I've learned this lesson the hard way, but I hope my experience will inspire you to start planning, even if it feels like there's plenty of time left. It's the best gift you can give yourself, and the one I wish I had given myself earlier. The third lesson: cultivate strong relationships. In my 60s, I was consumed by the endless cycle of work, personal goals, and the daily grind that comes with responsibilities. Looking back now, I realize how much I took the people in my life for granted. My family, my friends, and the small but significant connections I had with my community. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was so focused on the next task or achievement that I neglected the very relationships that could have given me the strength and warmth to face life's inevitable challenges. It wasn't until I entered my 70s, when the weight of solitude began to creep in, that I felt the true sting of isolation. The quiet of an empty house, the stillness of days passing without real connection, those moments revealed a painful truth to me. I hadn't made enough room for the people who mattered most. What I failed to understand then, and what I know deeply now, is that those relationships are everything. They are not just nice to have, they are essential. As I grew older, I realized just how much our emotional connections, our love for others and their love for us, are the pillars that hold us up. These bonds are not just comfort in times of trouble. They are the very foundation of joy and peace. They lift you when your spirits are low, and they provide a sense of purpose and belonging that no amount of work or personal achievement could ever replace. The lesson, painfully learned, is clear. Strong, nurturing relationships are the bedrock of a fulfilling life, especially as we age. We may think that success is defined by what we accomplish or the things we have, but in the end, it is the people we surround ourselves with that truly enrich our lives. When you have a network of people who genuinely care about you, who offer their love, and who support you, you gain the courage to face anything. Whether it's a health issue, emotional struggle, or just the daily trials of life, it's the presence of loved ones that gives you strength and comfort. One of the most crucial things I've learned is the importance of staying connected. It's all too easy to drift apart over time, especially as life gets busier, and you find yourself caught in your world. But relationships require effort. They require intention. A simple phone call, a text message, or even a handwritten note. These small acts can make all the difference in bridging the gap of distance, both physical and emotional. Don't wait for someone else to reach out to you. Be the one to initiate. Life is too short to let those connections slip away because of pride or fear of rejection. Reach out. Be the one who shows that you care. You'd be surprised at how much that means, not just to others, but to your own heart. And don't forget to be open to new relationships, too. As we age, we tend to settle into our familiar circles, and while that's comforting, it can also limit the growth of new connections. It's important to remember that just because we grow older doesn't mean we should stop making new friends or meeting new people. Joining a club, volunteering, or engaging in local activities can open doors to new, enriching experiences that breathe fresh energy into your life. And these new relationships can deepen your sense of community, reminding you that you are part of something bigger than yourself. Each new person you meet brings a fresh perspective and a new layer of richness to your world. Finally, never underestimate the power of showing appreciation. Sometimes, it's the simplest things that have the most profound impact. Don't let a day go by without telling the people in your life how much they mean to you. Let them know you are grateful for their presence. Be there when they need you, not just in the easy times, but in the difficult moments as well. Relationships aren't about perfection. They're about showing up, being present, and nurturing those connections with love and kindness over time. The bonds we form are what remain with us, long after the hustle and bustle of life have passed. As I look back on my life, I realize that the greatest gift I could have given myself is the gift of strong, meaningful relationships. It's these connections that have brought me peace, joy, and a sense of belonging that is irreplaceable. They are what make life truly worth living, especially as we grow older. The fourth lesson: pursue passions and hobbies. When I look back at my 60s, I can't help but feel a deep sense of regret for how I allowed my passions and hobbies to slip away. There was a time, not so long ago, when my life was filled with the things I loved: painting, gardening, reading for pleasure, exploring new interests, and simply savoring the quiet moments that brought me peace. These were the things that gave me joy, the things that made me feel alive, and yet, somehow, they all became secondary as life went on. I convinced myself that they didn't matter anymore, that there was no time for them, and that the responsibilities of work and family had to take precedence. Slowly, without even realizing it, the things I once cherished started to fade into the background, like forgotten treasures gathering dust in the corners of my heart. At first, I justified it all. I told myself, I'll get back to it when I have more time, or there are more important things right now. But days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, and the passions that once filled me with purpose and excitement were no longer a part of my life. Instead, I became so entangled in the endless demands of work, obligations, and the daily grind, that I lost sight of the things that made me feel grounded and truly alive. I didn't recognize the emptiness that slowly crept in, or how much I had sacrificed by neglecting the very things that brought me peace and joy. Looking back now, I can see the mistake I made. I was so wrapped up in the business of life that I allowed my hobbies to fall by the wayside. It wasn't just that I stopped painting or reading. No, it was deeper than that. I stopped allowing myself to nurture my soul, to experience the joy that comes from doing something just for the sheer pleasure of it. When I realized how much I had missed out on, I felt this profound sense of loss. My days, once filled with color, creativity, and curiosity, became monotonous and predictable. The spark in my life had dimmed, and I felt restless and unfulfilled, almost as if I had forgotten what it truly felt like to live fully. What I didn't understand then was how vital these passions were, not just to my happiness, but to my well-being as a whole. When we deny ourselves the opportunity to explore, to create, and to engage in things that bring us joy, we are denying ourselves a fundamental part of what makes life worth living. Our passions give us purpose. They offer an escape from the mundane and allow us to connect with a part of ourselves that can easily be lost in the hustle of everyday life. Hobbies are not just ways to pass the time. They are vital to maintaining our mental and emotional health. They give us something to look forward to, something that excites us, something that stirs our creativity and reminds us of who we are outside of our roles as caregivers, employees, or parents. The lesson I've learned is one that I cherish deeply now. Pursuing passions and hobbies is not a luxury, it's a necessity. As we age, it's more important than ever to maintain a connection with the things that bring us joy. It's not just about filling our time with activities to keep us busy. It's about finding fulfillment, meaning, and satisfaction in the things that matter most to us as individuals. Hobbies are about self-expression and creativity, about taking time for ourselves and nurturing our inner world. They offer us a chance to grow, to explore new things, and even to rediscover parts of ourselves we may have forgotten. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If you're in your 60s or beyond, I want you to know this: it's never too late. Never let age fool you into thinking that your passions are something you've missed out on. It's never too late to start something new or to rekindle an old hobby. You may think that you've lost the time to pursue those dreams, but the truth is, there is always time to start again. The beauty of life is that, no matter how much time has passed, we always can change, adapt, and take up the things that once brought us joy. It might feel intimidating at first, but that's okay. Take it slow. Start small. Pick up that paintbrush again or dust off your old knitting needles. If you love hiking but haven't done it in years, take a short walk around the block. If reading was once your escape, pick up a book and let it transport you to a new world. The key is to find something that excites you, something that makes you smile, something that sparks that creative flame inside of you. It doesn't matter if you haven't had time for a hobby in years, or if you feel like you've forgotten how to enjoy yourself. Begin right where you are. Permit yourself to enjoy the process, not just the result. There's so much freedom in letting go of expectations and allowing yourself to simply be in the moment, to experience the joy that comes with doing something just for yourself. And who knows? You may discover new talents or interests you never knew you had. Maybe you'll fall in love with writing or photography, or maybe you'll find deep satisfaction in taking care of your garden. The possibilities are endless. Moreover, engaging in hobbies keeps our minds sharp and our spirits high. Whether it's learning something new, developing a skill, or simply getting lost in a creative project, these activities keep us engaged with the world around us. And they offer more than just personal fulfillment. They can help us build connections with others. You might meet like-minded individuals who share your interests, forming friendships that enrich your life in unexpected ways. Those new connections can bring joy and a sense of belonging, which is especially meaningful as we age. Remember this: life isn't just about the responsibilities we carry or the things we have to do. It's about embracing what brings us joy and making room for those things. It's about finding that balance between the demands of daily life and the things that nurture our souls. So, no matter where you are in life, I urge you to make time for what makes you happy. Find that spark again, whether it's painting, dancing, reading, or even just taking time to sit quietly and enjoy the beauty around you. It's never too late to reconnect with the things that make life beautiful. Life is about so much more than simply surviving. It's about thriving, growing, and living fully, no matter our age. The fifth lesson: embrace change and let go of regrets. Looking back at my 60s, I can't help but think about the countless hours I spent holding on to regrets, letting them consume my mind. There was a time when I would replay my mistakes over and over, trapped in an endless loop of self-doubt and wondering what my life could have been like if I had only made different choices. I would spend hours thinking about all the relationships I hadn't nurtured enough, the opportunities one had missed, and the career decisions that I wished I could undo. Whether it was the moment I let go of a dream job or when I let go of a relationship that had so much potential, the regret followed me like a shadow, never giving me peace. I couldn't seem to shake the nagging feeling that I had wasted time, that I had made decisions that somehow ruined my life. The weight of these thoughts was heavy, and it felt like I was carrying a burden that was too great to bear. The problem was, by focusing so much on the past, I was neglecting the present. I couldn't look ahead with hope or excitement because I was too busy holding on to what I had lost. The what-ifs dominated my thoughts. What if I had made that bold move? What if I had taken that chance? What if I had said yes instead of no? Each question only deepened my sense of regret, and I began to feel as if I was stuck, paralyzed by the belief that I had somehow missed my chance at happiness, success, or fulfillment. But what I failed to see at the time was how much of my energy I was wasting on thoughts that could never be changed. I had become so tangled in my past that I couldn't even begin to imagine what the future could hold for me. Then, as I spent more time reflecting, I realized that the lesson I needed to learn, one that has proven to be invaluable, was that embracing change and letting go of regrets was not just important but essential for growth. Change is one of life's most fundamental truths. It's inevitable, unrelenting, and often unpredictable. It's something we can't control, no matter how much we try to plan or prepare. And yet, for so many of us, we resist change, often because it feels safer to cling to the past than to face the unknown. I know I did. But life doesn't wait for us to be ready. It keeps moving, with or without our permission. And if we keep holding on to past mistakes, missed opportunities, or decisions we regret, we remain anchored in a place of dissatisfaction that can quickly become stagnation. I began to understand that holding on to regret wasn't serving me. It was only keeping me from experiencing the full richness of life in the present. Regret, as painful as it might feel in the moment, is not a productive emotion. It only pulls us further away from the present and blinds us to the opportunities around us. When I realized this, I made a conscious decision to let go. I had to start accepting what I couldn't change. I had to forgive myself for the things I had done wrong and stop obsessing over the things I wished I had done differently. It wasn't easy. Forgiving myself felt like an impossible task. How could I forgive myself for all the things I had regretted? But I came to understand that forgiveness doesn't mean excusing the mistakes. It means freeing myself from the chains of guilt and allowing myself the space to grow. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As part of this process, I began practicing mindfulness. I started to focus on the present moment, on the here and now, without allowing my thoughts to be hijacked by past regrets. I began to train my mind to see what was happening in my life today, appreciating the beauty, the blessings, and even the challenges that were right in front of me. It wasn't easy at first. It felt like my mind wanted to drift back to the familiar comfort of regret. But with practice, mindfulness began to feel like a lifeline. It brought me peace, even in the most difficult moments, reminding me that today is the only time I can truly control. I also learned to let go of the anger and resentment I was holding toward others. I realized that by holding on to grudges, I was only hurting myself. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. It only destroys you from within. Forgiving others, like forgiving myself, was a crucial step toward healing. It didn't mean forgetting the past or pretending that everything was fine. It meant acknowledging the hurt, learning from it, and then releasing it so that I could move forward. The most liberating part of this whole process has been accepting that life doesn't always go according to plan, and that's okay. I spent so much of my earlier life trying to control every detail, trying to follow a perfect script. But the truth is, life has its own story to tell, and sometimes those unexpected twists and turns are where the most profound lessons are found. I can't change the past, but I can shape the future by how I respond to today. The more I embraced change, the more I understood that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. With every new chapter comes the opportunity for new growth, new experiences, and new joys. Letting go of regrets is a powerful act of self-love. It's an act of kindness to yourself, to stop punishing yourself for the things you cannot change and to make space for the life that is still unfolding. Every time I let go of regret, I made room for something better to come into my life. Whether it was a new opportunity, a new relationship, or simply a newfound sense of peace. The more I let go of the past, the more I open myself to the possibilities of the future. I encourage you, if you find yourself burdened by the weight of regrets, to let them go. Accept that you are human, that you have made mistakes, but also that you are worthy of moving on. Practice mindfulness. Forgive yourself and others. Understand that life is constantly changing, And the only way to fully experience it is to allow yourself to flow with it. There is so much beauty in this life, so much to be grateful for, and so much to look forward to, if we can only free ourselves from the shackles of regret. Embrace change with an open heart, let go of the past, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are defined by how you rise from them. And with every step forward, you are creating a future that is brighter and more fulfilling than you ever thought possible. As we wrap up today's lesson, I want to leave you with a few questions to reflect on. What have you learned so far from this journey of embracing change and letting go of regrets? How has it changed your perspective on your own life and the choices you've made? I encourage you to think about one thing you've learned today that you will take into practice moving forward. Maybe it's learning to forgive yourself, focusing on the present, or embracing the changes that life brings. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to hit that like button. Share this video with others who might benefit from it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more meaningful content. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing your stories and learning together as we continue this journey of growth and self-discovery.